Okay, so today is the day when Microsoft's Small Business Server 2011 officially ends support. So, first and foremost, what is Microsoft Small Business Server 2011? So what this is it's a version of Microsoft's server operating system, which encompasses an email server called Microsoft Exchange, some file sharing capabilities and some remote access facilities too. There are some other bits and pieces, but fundamentally that is what most businesses would use this product for email, for sharing files and for remote access to their system. It was a really, really good product because when it was released, it bundled all these things together, which individually cost a lot of money, but they bundled it together at a great price, aimed at kind of small to medium-sized businesses up to 75 users. And the pricing on it was outstanding. There was no two ways that it was excellent value. So it's been around since 2011, the clue's in the name, and it's been kind of motoring along. But now, as of today, Microsoft has said we're no longer releasing any updates or security fixes for this product. So what that means is if there's any kind of exploit found or nasty guys or girls write something to exploit this particular operating system, Microsoft would normally, let's say it was Windows 10, would release a security update to fix that problem so you don't get exposed. But they're basically saying if anything is found, a weakness in that system, because it's so old, you kind of should have moved on already. You should have upgraded already. So we're not going to fix them problems for you. So you're kind of on your own, so to speak. So that in itself moving forward is an issue. Hopefully you've already got a plan in place. Hopefully you've already switched off using this particular product. But if you haven't, you really need to give some serious thought and put something in place to, as soon as you can, to get off this operating system. There's lots and lots of options moving forward. If you take each component of the Small Business Server 2011 server, the first one, which it was regularly used for, was the email system, the Microsoft Exchange system. Well, in my opinion now, there's no need to have anything on site, on premise for email. It's just a bad move. Being reliant on local hardware for your email system doesn't make business sense. And there's lots to choose from out there. The obvious one would be to look at Microsoft's email services via 365. But for whatever reason, if that isn't your particular cup of tea, then consider Google G Suite / Google Apps, which also provide a really solid and reliable email system. Choosing one of them two systems is the way to go. There's no other real option, personally, in my opinion. Now, people might know of other systems out there, maybe some open source software, but if you're running a critical business, which email is an essential part of your communication tools, you need something reliable, proven, fully supported, where there's lots of help should you need it. And if you're going down the Microsoft or the Google route, there's lots of local people to help you. There is help directly from Microsoft and Google. There's lots and lots of forums, support articles, all the rest of it. So you can't really go wrong. It's just finding which of them particular products suits your business and the best. And that what suits your business best might tie into what you're doing with your files as well, which we'll move on to now. So in terms of having your files on a Small Business Server 2011, moving forward, there are a few options for your files. There is the option to retain some kind of local storage. All I mean is by that is having a box in your office to store your files. That might be something called a NAS box. It could be a very basic, simple server of some kind. More and more, again, people will look to use cloud services for this, which, again, I'm a big fan of. I think it's the way to go. In particular, I really like SharePoint. But again, there are other options. There is OneDrive. There is the G Suite apps, as in Google Drive. Things like Dropbox are around as well. Not such a fan of that, but each to their own here. There are them options. There are exceptions when local storage is a consideration. That is if there is a tremendous amount of data, vast amounts of data, you might consider some local storage. And it might even be a split where you have an archive of local on-site storage, but your actual live data is in the cloud. Also, bandwidth, as in internet connection speed, is a serious consideration for these services. If you've got really large files up in the cloud, which you're pulling back and forth, but you're in a rural location with like 1 meg internet speeds, it's not going to work that well. So you are a little bit of an exception, and we need to consider what we could do in that situation to get you working better. But overall, yes, look at the offerings from the likes of Microsoft, Google, Dropbox, etc. for your files. And that leaves us with the remote access side of stuff. Now, if you've put your emails into a cloud-based system and you've put your files into a cloud-based system, actually the remote access side of stuff disappears because it's not required, because you're using the services directly using the overall system in the cloud, which is a secure, encrypted service, if you're using the right service, of course. So your actual requirement for like what's known commonly as a VPN, virtual private network, you just don't need it. You just don't need it because you're connecting into an office where there's no local resources. So that actually goes away if you're doing these bits and pieces correctly. So that would actually take care of that as well. So in quick summary here, to eradicate Microsoft Small Business Server 2011 from your on-premise site, consider moving your email to 365 or Google. Consider moving your files to either local storage of some kind, 365 or Google Suite. And then with your remote access, if you've done the other two things above, you probably don't need some kind of remote access, because you'll be able to remote access all of your stuff directly without the need for a virtual private network. Or if you were using the remote web workplace, there's no need for that either anymore. So look at them services. They will make you more productive. They will make you more secure, as long as you set them all up in the right way, of course. But they are the way to go because they are fully supported. They're even more secure than anything that's come before them, and it is the right route to go down in our opinion. So please do consider them options. Overall, whatever solution you do go for, make sure you are backing it up though, and just make sure you are doing the sensible things with security. No weak passwords, for example, not doing anything daft like that. Just make sure there is a backup for whatever system you do choose. So for example, if you were using a Microsoft based system, make sure you're backing it up to something outside of the Microsoft environment, just for peace of mind. Likewise, if you're using Google, back it up to something outside of the Google platform, because that way, very, 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 very worst case scenario, something happens to that particular platform, it shouldn't be the end of the world because you've got a backup somewhere else external. Just making something up here, let's say I backed it up into Amazon Web Services, Google goes splat, I just pull my data back down from Amazon and off I go again. So do make sure you have a clear backup plan for these kind of services. The backup side of stuff, it all still applies, same as it did to your local on-site server. You do need a backup in place still, just in case anything ever goes wrong. Okay, so hopefully that's given you a few thoughts around moving away from Small Business Server 2011. Please do smash the like button if this video has been helpful anyway. It really helps us with our channel. Please do subscribe to our channel. We're producing more and more videos all the time. And please also check out our links below to our social media feeds such as Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn. Thanks again.